Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Take one.
So hi guys, my name is Mr. Folk, otherwise known as Lungelo Kunene, or it's Lungelo Kunene, otherwise known as Mr. Folk. So today we are going to be looking at the road rules, the rules of the road, if you are preparing for your K53 learner's license test. Okay? So, without any further ado, we will go straight into it. But before that, I've noticed that actually more than 67% of the people who watch videos on this channel are not subscribed. And that thing is make me for the angrified. Yeah? It's not make me nice. So please hit on that subscribe button as you go. All right, so we are doing the rules of the road. So I'll start reading from here. Aibu, what's this? I'll start reading from here, whereby it says, the rules of the road are set in place to regulate traffic and to ensure safety. These rules are compulsory, and compliance with these road traffic laws greatly reduces the possibility of accidents, injury, or deaths on the road. So you must know and understand that the rules of the road are actually designed, are put in place to regulate traffic and to ensure safety. They are there to ensure safety, So then we have what we will then call the general rules. General rules. They're saying all vehicles must have a clearly visible and valid license disc, which is 12 months from the date of issue. 12 months from the date of issue. Bangani bam, you must never confuse the 12 months of the vehicle license disc and the learner's license. The learner's license is valid for a period of 24 months. Learner's license 24 months. Vehicle license disc is 12 months. Don't confuse that when you get to the exam. So 12 months is for the vehicle license, and then 24 months it's the vehicle license. Is the learner's license. So then we have the following distance. They say maintain a safe following distance as part of maintaining a clear space around your vehicle. Maintain a safe following distance as part of maintaining a clear space around your vehicle. So let's say you have vehicle, let's say you have vehicle 1A, or rather vehicle A, and then there is vehicle B. So there must always be a clear space between the two vehicles, vehicle A and vehicle B. You must have that safe following distance. Safe following distance. Vehicle A and vehicle B. Keep the safe following distance. So then they say you increase the distance when the visibility is poor, when you are driving in wet conditions, when you are traveling fast, when you are carrying a heavy load, and when you are traveling on a loose surface. This thing of saying you increase the distance, what do we mean? We mean that you keep even a bigger gap. This is vehicle A and there is vehicle B. So you will increase the gap under the conditions that I have mentioned. When the visibility is poor, when you are driving in wet conditions, when you are traveling fast, and when you are carrying a heavy load. Okay, so now the following distance is then explained as, or is it is said to be that it's 2 seconds, 2 seconds for light motor vehicles and 3 seconds for heavy motor vehicles. That is your following distance. 3 seconds for light motor vehicles and 3 seconds for heavy motor vehicles. So the light motor vehicles will be your code 8, okay? Would be your code 8, and the heavy motor vehicles will be your code 10 and 14, okay? Sharp. So then they say, oh, the question will come and say, what what is the safe following distance? Let's say you have this B and A. So they say, what is the safe following distance if the vehicle in front of you suddenly stops? When you fork, what you should choose, you'll choose that when your vehicle, you will choose and say, if you are able to stop without swerving. If you are able to stop without swerving, you are keeping a safe following distance. What is to stop without swerving? You have vehicle A and vehicle B. If this vehicle, you as vehicle B, is able to stop maybe here, should this vehicle suddenly stops. If it's able to stop without driving to the side of this vehicle, avoiding hitting it, then you are keeping a safe following distance. All right, and then now we're moving to your mirrors. Okay. Apologies for what just happened there. It seems like we lost the audio for a bit, but let's go back to what we were doing. What happened? Okay, let me go back to nami ngiyabona ukuthi manje sekwenza ukuthi ube restless. Okay, so now we then move to the mirrors of your vehicle. The mirrors of your vehicle. So they're saying here, ensure that all mirrors are adjusted correctly so that you have a clear view. If you need to adjust the mirrors, you may only do this when the vehicle is stationary. And then you adjust the mirrors of your vehicle when the vehicle is stationary. Okay? You adjust the mirrors when the vehicle is stationary, not when the vehicle is moving. So they say every 5 to 8 seconds glance to check the situation behind or to the sides of the vehicle. So after 5 to 8 seconds, you check your mirrors. You check your mirrors every 5 to 8 seconds. All right. That does not mean you must go around driving with a timer, timing yourself. Is it 5 seconds? Is it 8 seconds? I should check. No, it does not. It absolutely does not mean that. Okay. So, and then they say, when approaching a potential hazard, check in the mirrors in case you need to signal a change in direction. Let's say you are approaching a potential hazard. You are driving on the road, and then there's a hazard. Let's say maybe there's an excavation on the road. Before you change your direction, you must check your mirrors. Check before you obey. All right. Okay. And then we say you check the blind spots. We're coming to the blind spot. What is the blind spot? A blind spot is that area which does not appear on your mirrors. The area which does not appear on your mirrors. So that is a blind spot. So let's say there is your road. Let's say it's your road divided like this. Okay. So let's say this be your vehicle. Let's say this is your vehicle. Say this is your vehicle. Then there is the mirror. There is another mirror. All right. These are your mirrors. Okay. And then there is this blue pathway that I've drawn will be what your mirrors see, and then that is what your mirror sees. Okay. So and then what happens here is that this area, it does not appear on your mirror. This does not appear on your mirror. So therefore this we consider it as your blind spot because it does not appear in your mirror. All right. And then now we go down to the maximum speed limit. Now there's an important thing that any road sign that is not part of the general speed limits takes precedence. So if you are driving on the road and then you're driving in roads in urban areas, they say the maximum speed limit here is 60. Okay. It does not mean that when you are driving in roads in urban areas and you find a speed limit that says 30, you must not consider it, or you must not follow it. You still follow it. Roads outside urban areas. The maximum speed limit is 100. And then on freeways, it's 120. And then goods vehicles with a mass exceeding 9,000 kgs is 80. A bus or taxi carrying passengers that exceeds 3,500 kgs, it's 100. So these are your maximum speed limits. Those are your maximum speed limits. Okay. All right. Now, now we are then going to go down to checking the rules with regards to driving on divided roads. This is pretty easy. I'm just gonna read through, you'll see. Okay, they're saying here, when a painted marking or physical barrier divides a road, always stay on the left of the division. Always stay on the left of the division. A question will come, and it will say, what is the most important rule of the road in South Africa? You will answer, okay, you will choose an answer which states that the most important rule of the road in South Africa is that you must keep left. You must keep left. So keep left. All right. You are only allowed to cross this division if there is an opening or space allocated for this action. You are only allowed to cross this division if there is a space or opening. It is a rule violation to drive across a solid dividing marking. These are the solid dividing marking they are talking about. You may only drive across a broken dividing marking to overtake another vehicle or to make a U-turn. This is the only marking you are allowed to cross. These other ones you are not allowed to cross. And therefore, it is a rule violation to do that, to cross them. Okay, moving down to overtaking. The rules with regards to overtaking. They're saying here, do not overtake if overtaking is prohibited by a road sign or marking. Do not overtake a vehicle that is stopped at a pedestrian crossing. When overtaking a vehicle on the same direction on a narrow road, pass right and keep a safe following distance. Pass right and keep a safe following distance. So that means you overtake on the right and you must keep a safe following distance. Do not overtake on the right hand side of the roadway in the face of oncoming traffic. Do not drive on the shoulder or verge of the road when overtaking. Do not overtake on a blind rise, curve, or any other area where your view of the road ahead is limited. Okay? Right. Simple and straightforward. There is nothing much for me to explain here because it's simple and straightforward. All right? And then now let's come to the rules with regards to overtaking on the left. If it is safe to do so, you may overtake on the left when the vehicle ahead of you is turning right or has indicated to turn right, when the road is a one-way, when there is wide enough for 2 or more lanes for traffic moving in the same direction, when you are instructed by a traffic officer, and then you do not cross the yellow left edge line in order to overtake on the left. You don't cross the yellow line in order to overtake on the left. Simple and straightforward. And then we come to passing oncoming vehicles. When passing oncoming traffic, you may not pass right onto oncoming traffic. You do not overtake or pass on the right hand side when there is oncoming traffic. Are you trying to make a head-on collision? No, don't do that. Look what we mean. There is your road. Let me choose a different color to do this. There is your roadway. It's your roadway there. All right. So this lane is for vehicles going there. This lane is for vehicles coming back. There's a vehicle here. Okay. And then there's this person here who's driving a smaller car that is going very slow. Then you decide to overtake. How are you overtaking? Because there's a vehicle coming there. You see, that one is not allowed, my friend. It's not allowable. Allowable. Is that English? I don't know. But that is not allowed. All right. And then we come to being overtaken. Being overtaken. They're saying here, when being overtaken, move over safely to the left to allow another vehicle to pass. Do not accelerate until the other vehicle has passed. Do not accelerate until the other vehicle has passed. All right. Okay. Now we then also move down to being overtaken on a freeway. Being overtaken on a freeway, it says that if the driver behind you indicates his desire to overtake by flashing the headlights, signal to move over if it is safe to do so. Do not hog the right lane even if you are traveling at a designated speed limit. Do not hog the right lane even if you are traveling at a designated speed limit. So, if the vehicle behind you has a desire to overtake you, you are on the freeway, flashing the headlights, signal to move over. Move. Don't stay on the fast lane and you are going slow. Move to the next lane. Okay? Do not hog the right lane even if you are traveling at a designated speed limit. So, even if you are driving at 120 kilometers per hour, but if the person behind you says, "Hey baba, uhamba kancane, I want to overtake you," give that person right of way and then move to the next lane. All right. And then we come to road shoulders. You may not drive on the shoulder of the road to the left of the yellow edge line. Let me highlight you may not drive on the shoulder of the road to the left of the yellow edge line or to the right of the white edge line. Then there are exceptions. You may drive to the left of the yellow edge line to allow another vehicle to overtake if it is a single lane roadway, if it's in between sunrise and sunset, if it won't endanger any road users or property, if you can clearly see any person or person's vehicle or vehicles for at least 150 meters ahead. Okay, these are the only conditions where you are allowed to overtake on the left. If it is a single lane roadway, if it's in between sunset and sunrise and sunset, sunrise and sunset, that means during the day. If it's during the day, if it won't endanger any road users or property, and if you can clearly see any person or person's vehicle or vehicles for at least 150 meters ahead. And then we then have the dedicated public transport lanes. They're saying here, do not drive in a lane dedicated for public transport or rapid transport vehicles from 6 a.m. and to 9 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Monday to 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Monday to Friday, except public holidays, unless you are driving a permitted class of vehicles. All right, you do not drive in a lane that is dedicated for public transport or for rapid transport vehicles. So during the times indicated, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., 4 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. And then we have what? Traffic lanes. You may not enter or cross you may not enter or cross a road traffic lane if your vehicle is likely to cause a dangerous situation or obstruct traffic flow. Do not cross into a different lane unless you can do so without obstructing or endangering other traffic. All right. And then this one is simple and straightforward. If you see that you are going to cause danger, don't move into the other lane. Okay? Simple and straightforward. Don't move. You are going to cause obstruction or traffic. Don't move. And then we have the traffic circles. You have a roundabout and a mini circle. At a roundabout, they say, at a roundabout, you must yield right of way to all traffic approaching from the right unless there is a road sign or traffic officer instructing otherwise. At a mini circle, give way to any vehicle that will cross or that has crossed any yield line before you. Drive clockwise around but not over the marking. Drive clockwise, but you don't drive over the marking. All right, simple and straightforward. All right, guys, so I am going to hold it here. We mark this as our session number 1, and then we are going to have session number 2 where we look at the rules with regards to parking and going all the way down to parking distances and whatsoever. If you have not subscribed in this channel, that means you are watching my video, you are learning for free, and you don't want to follow me and you don't want to subscribe. So please do check out my TikTok, where I also go live every day and do questions, the K53, and also do check me on Facebook. I also do lives there. Check me on TikTok as Mr. Fork, and then check me on Facebook as Mr. Fork also. Or also there is another channel on TikTok, Lungelo Kunen. That's also me there. Please do that, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers.